that should have done it. Yeah, now we're live. Okay. Still learning how this whole streaming thing works. All right. We got chatters, we got music. Is the chat overlay working? People are typing in the chat, but nothing is coming through. That's not cool. Let me see if I can fix that. Let's double check Streamlabs. Yeah. Hello everybody. Troubleshooting my my streaming setup here. Where is login? Hey, there we go. Chat overlay does look like it's working now. Hey, perfect. Okay. Well, plan today is I already did like an average of 30 or 40 on 4x4, and I did my PLL time attacks and my training for inspection and stuff. So I'm gonna do like 100 solves on 3x3, but I'm gonna split it up into averages of 25. And then we got big cubes today as well. So yeah, should be a chill stream. But I'll be watching the chat here and there, trying a new layout. Last time I had my camera and microphone like right here, and I was really tense the whole time. This time I've got like camera spread out a little bit, microphone spread out a little bit, so it feels more like a normal practice session. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. But yeah. My PLL time attacks tend to be like sub 30. So today my fastest one was a 25.6. But like 27 is about where I sit when things are going correctly. This is a Weilong V11 20 meg ball core. It's on my spreadsheet, my PLL time attack order. It's on one of my tabs. I use the same order as Kyle Santucci. I'll turn faster eventually. My hands are still warming up a little bit. I haven't cubed for like the last 30 or 40 minutes because I was getting all the stream stuff set up and talking to my wife before she left the house. I'm also like at this weird point where I'm learning a lot of new F2L solutions and stuff. So I can turn fast, but I don't really want to, if that makes sense. Like when I turn fast, I make more mistakes than it's worth. I'm not going to worry about scrambles on screen. I found that like for most people, when you watch a stream, you're just kind of like putting it on and chilling out. Just one overlay is all I'm going to do. Oh, good grief. Still warming up. Bad average of 5. No, this is just my practice session. Yeah, Eli, I know what you're saying. Yesterday, I listened to a big long interview with Magnus Carlsen, and something he was talking about was that there are times when it is better in chess for him to not think and to let intuition carry him. And I like that's where fast cubers are. I just don't have enough intuition to be able to do that yet. I'm still learning all the right solutions. Man, solves are not coming together yet. Such a lucky solve. And still only a 9. Oh, I know the shortcut for. Yeah, that's it. Haha, keyboard shortcuts. Cool stuff. What's up, Cubutar? This is such a weird scramble. Definitely the warm-up. Nothing on yellow. That doesn't look bad. Nice. What's up, Thomas? Let's see. Mentioned the shirt project. Wanted to give you an update. It's almost ready. Good stuff, dude. How's the organizing going? How many comps did you go to before you organized something? Am I gonna interview Timon? I'd love to interview Timon. But I want to get, I have like 5 more interviews already scheduled. So I will interview him eventually, but first I have to meet him. Then I have to get him to say yes. And it won't come out anytime soon because I got to post all the other ones first anyway. Oh. Nice Y2. Well, tips on F2L. I don't know anything about who you are, how you solve, what you know and what you don't know, what your finger tricks are like, and all that. So there's not really a catch-all answer. The best thing to do is just go on SpeedCubeDB and start looking at literally every F2L case and make sure you know the optimal solution for each one. That'll be oriented. Dude, I'm going like trash. Yeah, I love this thing. It's like, I don't know. I'm really impressed with this way long. I have 2 of them. But this one doesn't sound nearly as like Doesn't sound nearly as smooth. I'm in love with this one. It's the FZ setup from the Cubicle. I totally love it. North Dakota? That's crazy. Dude, good for you for pushing the community up there. That is awesome. Oh, if you only average over a minute, then going through all the individual solutions probably isn't the best for you. I mean, you can do that. But do you know to look OLL and PLL yet? Yikes, I'm so bad. Nah, yellow. Well, see, this is my problem with being dual color neutral, is I spend so long analyzing which cross to pick, and I always have the other one in the back of my mind. Comp sims are a struggle. Competing is going to be a struggle. Okay, that's oriented. That's going to be here. Okay. Clown show solve. So bad. Maybe I should just turn fast. Whoever said that earlier, I might take your advice. That wasn't too bad. Big improvement question. Why do you suck at everything at home? Most coaches say look ahead. How much do you practice each day? How many solves? How many days a week? Yeah, if you're still trying to transition away from like doing Daisy for your cross, you don't need F2L improvement. The first step is to learn a little bit of extra stuff for how to do crosses well. And then from there, start learning to look OLL and PLL. 10 to 100 is an extremely wide range. Which one is it? Oh my word. Good grief. Well, if you're actually doing 100 solves a day, you know full OLL and full PLL, and coaches are saying your solutions are good, then do 100 solves every day for 3 months. And if you don't improve by a second in those 3 months, then tell me that you can't improve. Hey, thanks VisU Cubes. Really appreciate that. Practice is kind of mid right now. A couple more 3x3 solves. I'm still warming up and kind of getting used to the whole stream aspect today. Oh, new alg. That's the fancy JNB perm, this one. Just kind of flubbed it. Very weak average of 25, but it's a start. I did not track how long that took. Lose some 7. You average about 12.2. Cross plus 1 is about 5 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty awful if you have a 12.2 average. 1 month isn't enough time. I don't know how much you practice a day. Second, I don't know how long you've been practicing. So how many isolated things have you done? And how long have you been doing it for? So like how many cross plus 1 drills a day? And then do you know if you're doing them well? Like, are your solutions good? Have you had a coach check them? Have you watched a whole bunch of tutorials and walkthrough solves and make sure you know everything that's going on and all that? 3:15 is okay. Good start. What's up, Greek Speed Cuber? If you're training for, yeah, I'm 22, so not that old, but also not, you know, not a 12-year-old. Not Jean-Yi. You train 10 events simultaneously. There's your problem. If you want to substantially improve at one event and you're averaging 12 on 3x3, you need to put a whole lot more time in than 20 minutes a day. Like, you'll probably see improvement over like 3, 4, 5, 6 months if that's the amount that you're practicing. But you're not going to improve in a big way if that's how much you do it. All right. What am I doing, man? What the? Oh. Oh, rats. Now I've got to flip it. Love it. What happened? That's kind of sad. I guess the good news is that's my first pop on this puzzle since I got it, and I'm like 100 solves in with it. For a 7x7, that's pretty good. And I have it really loose. There we go. We're just gonna pretend that one never happened. Yeah, dude, ouch is right. Ouch for real. Are you asking about what you should learn for square one? What do you already know? How fast are you? What algorithms do you use? What method? What are your splits from each stage? Alright, do not walk up here again. Not bad. 305. I mean, go for it. Make an unofficial leaderboard for older cubers. That'd be great. I have nothing against that. I did 3x3 earlier. I'm gonna do like 3 more 7x7 solves, then go back to 3x3, then 6x6 back to 3x3, and so on and so forth. Hello. Yes, Brandon is streaming. Brandon is streaming. beginner cube shape, CO, EO, CP, and beginner EP. Okay, you absolutely have to not do beginner cube shape. You have to learn how to reduce down to scallop kite or scallop from any cube shape. That is for sure the highest thing you can do. Because what kills you in competitions is getting a cube shape that you don't know and spending like 10 seconds on cube shape. And then the rest of your solve is really predictable. So learn how to do intermediate or advanced cube shape for square one. Like from any position, be able to reduce down to scallop kite and then get into cube shape. And if you can do that consistently, your competition results will be way, way more consistent. Yeah, dude, an employed cuber ranking. That'd be kind of funny. Cube for edit. Yeah, Brandon is streaming. 246. Okay, I think I'm caught up on chat. Back to solve. I can sub to this one. Watch me. Watch me. Sub. Bet I can sub 250 if I really send it. That solve was way faster than I thought it would be. Especially with a scramble like this. What the heck? Not with first two centers like that. Yeah, those first 2 centers were so bad. All right, well, I'm gonna call it there. That was about 20 minutes to 7. Enough to be in maintenance mode. Let me record that. What's today? November 29th. How many solves was that? 5? I'm gonna call it 4, including the pop. 3, 14, 36 is the result. All right, more 3x3. All right, more chat stuff. Yo, I watched a recent interview about how to get fast. I know nothing about cubing. Hey, cool. That is awesome. I'm targeting people who are like diehard cubers with my stuff, but that's so cool that somebody who's totally not into cubing found it and was like, this is kind of interesting. What if I just watched the whole thing? Glad it was interesting. How much would I charge for a sponsorship? It totally depends on the nature of the thing. So if you have a particular thing, let me know. Whatever I do, I'd want to set it up in such a way that I only make money if the other person makes money. The theory would be if you win, I win. And that way I'm not limited by how much I charge you. If you do really well, I do well with you. What do you think about tilting to recognize an F2LP you can't fully see? Very situational. I'm not expert enough to the point where I can see so much that I never do that. Slight tilts are definitely not bad, but I think in theory, what you should be able to do is just from like watching pieces pass by, like the front part of the cube as you solve, you should be able to like hold in your brain like, oh yeah, that's in the back. And just by looking at like one side of the piece, you should be able to deduce between what you've seen and what's already solved, what those pieces are. At least in theory. Can I do that? Good grief, no. Content's gonna keep coming. I'm bumping to 3 videos a week starting next week, so you'll get lots of it. All right, stretch break. Oh. Oh my gosh, my old man shoulders. Oh. All right. Another average of 25. Not bad. Mains for 2 through 7, check my link tree. I have a spreadsheet with all my current mains in it. But for 3, I'm using the Waylong 20 magnet ball core UV. Big cubes, GAN 5 is the best for 5x5, but the MoU triple track one's also really good. For 6x6, the new MoU Aosu V6, Aoshi, triple track is probably the best one. 7x7, the MoU 5x5 triple track is almost certainly the best one, but there's other good competition. But MoU pretty much has big cubes locked up, with the exception of 5x5, which GAN's 5 is very, very good. You can't really know where every piece is by remembering. Tell that to Zhang. Oh, come on. I completely lost it on those last two pairs, man. $16 to $10 was years, mostly because I didn't practice with focus for any of that time. What's up, do to know? Cool. Yeah, my Discord and email are in my profile. Let me know, Thomas. Can't promise that we'll work together, but would love to at least hear what you're working on. What? I need to try that again. How long did it take me to get to sub 15? I learned to solve the cube when I was 10, and I was sub 15 when I was like 14 or 15. I really didn't practice with focus at all during like the early part of cubing. It was very much for fun. Okay, so what was I tracking on that one? Oh, that's right. It was this weird... This is oriented, so I can solve this. No, that's a silly plan. Yeah, I messed up the cross on that one again. Experimenting a lot means most of my solves are not very good, but I'm learning a lot about different ways you can do X crosses and stuff. Changing 3x3 methods, it depends on your goal and what the time frame is. If you're trying to get world class as fast as possible, definitely not. Pick one and do it as well as you can. If you're like, I'm dedicating my life to this and want to learn multiple things, maybe, but if you're choosing an unexplored method, the likelihood of becoming best in the world is really, really low because you need resources and a support structure to help you improve. Oh my gosh. That was good. I can't inspect. Oh my gosh. I can't inspect. Okay, come on. I think white is the move. Yeah. Wait. It'll end up... Oh, but then it's not oriented. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, pair it first. Nope, still failed the planning after all of that. I'm trying so hard to like see things and plan it. And I'm just like, I'm flubbing. And then my whole solve gets thrown off. How would I recommend getting from 20 to 15? Totally depends on what you know and don't know. That's not nearly enough information for me to give you a good answer. Make sure you know full OLL and PLL. Make sure that you have good F2L solutions for every single case. All right, I'll check Discord a little bit later. Just doing solves at the moment. I did my like focus training this morning. V11, I have the FZ set up from the cubicle. Hey, welcome to Shanika F, I think is how you say it. Glad you're enjoying it. Very glad you're enjoying it. Most important thing to be sub 12, assuming you actually know all your algorithms for last layer, efficient solutions to every F2L case. Okay, that is so true that some days you can just inspect way further. Like this week, I had a day where I was averaging like 9.7. I had a sub 10 average of 50. And it was beautiful. Like I could see all the way ahead. I could turn really fast. My look ahead was clean. And then the next day, I had like, my average was like 10.8. And I'm realizing cubing is more about balancing those highs and lows than it is about being like super regimented every single day. Few things went wrong there. Oh my word. Hey Cade, thank you so much. Glad it's been helpful. The meta stuff is like way more interesting to me because there's a lot of tactical things, but those only apply to like specific people, and once you know it, it's not useful anymore. That'll stay oriented. I literally traced it and I still didn't. So what happened that time is I accurately predicted my first pair and I still paused and looked for it. Like it's not intuitive enough yet. Super frustrating. Just give it time. Just give it time. Slow PLL, but still good. I feel like solves are like slowly starting to stabilize. Where am I learning role recognition? Have I started? No, I haven't. I've started learning two-side PLL and stuff, but I actually think that I'm gonna learn full ZB. So I'm not super stressed about learning OLL to PLL prediction. I've done a lot of thinking this week about what skills I'll need if I actually want to get world class in like 4 or 5 years. And really deep inspection is one of them, which is why I spend like 45 minutes every day right now melting my brain trying to inspect. And it's why most of my solves are so patchy. It's because I'm pushing my brain in weird ways to handle new inspections. That's one. But the other is I will never turn as fast as Yihang or Ruihong or something. These guys who use, or Maddie, full CFOP solutions, right? And if I want to do if I want to do this for a long time, I can't rely on TPS. I have to rely on efficiency. So I think I'm going to learn full ZB. Not before the competition, but I'll probably start on COLL in like mid-December. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'm pretty sure I need to do it. So not super worried about roll. I don't remember what my last F2L pair was. Otherwise, I would happily show it. You can rewind the video though and see what I did. Pros of streaming on YouTube. That felt good. My comp is on December 13th, so 2 weeks from today. The return is like really, really high. It's just like if I'm not going to use it long term, I'm not going to invest in it so I can use it short term, you know? Start with U or T for ZBLL. Not planning to do that because Luke Greiser recommends to start, and Timon as well, start with COLL, because with COLL you can learn all the corner prediction and then you can go subset from there. I don't know which full ZB set I'm going to start after COLL, but I'm not just going to jump straight into U. I'm going to do COLL for all the cases and then I'm going to learn subsets from there. Okay, so that's oriented. Up, over. It's gonna be here, then here. Okay. Ah! 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 It's fine. It's fine. We're good. Nothing to see here. What did I do wrong? I'm falling apart, dude. My V11 is the FZ setup from the cubicle. I hate setting up cubes, and I find that whenever I set them up, they somehow get worse than they are out of the box, which is weird. And frankly, this is true of most cubers, in my opinion. Like, the vast majority of inexperienced cubers puzzles I try at competitions that they set up themselves are, like, really, really bad. So I just got it from the cubicle and haven't changed the settings since I got it out of the box. How awesome. H-perm on bottom. And mess up the PLL. The last couple days have been very, very rough practice-wise. I think next week my wife and I are going on like a mini vacation. We're going to SeaWorld and Disneyland and Universal Studios and Knott's Berry Farm, a bunch of amusement parks for like the whole week. And I'm not going to cube for the week. And I'm really excited about that because my brain has felt really, 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 really fatigued lately. So taking a week for my brain to kind of reset is going to be very nice. You mainly know OHZB. That is the biggest flex. Who are you? What's your WCA ID? I don't know of very many people who like. Okay, it's on your channel. I know of very few people who focus to learn OHZB. Yeah, you're fast. That's good. Okay, anyway, I'm redoing this. Man, my brain is very, very tired. Yeah, I feel like that's a mood. Like, I could learn ZB, or I could just switch to Rue. I think I need to stop 3x3 for right now. My brain just feels like it's operating at half speed. I need to make a video about how I can tell that too. There's a whole system that I learned from people who play like fighting games professionally. They have this thing they do where they have a song that they always listen to before they go into a tournament match. And if the song sounds like it's going faster than it normally does when they listen to it, then they know their brain is slow at the moment. Their reaction time is slow. Because, like, reaction time is really just how your mind perceives the passing of time. And so if you perceive a song as going slower than normal, it means your brain is processing time more quickly, so you're more mentally alert. And flip side is if your brain is processing a song as going faster than normal, it means your brain is going slow because time feels like it's going really fast. And right now, I definitely feel like my brain is sluggish. 5x5. Big cubes are like, I don't know, way less fatiguing to me. Yeah, oh, it's way more systematic. And that's one of the reasons that full ZB is really appealing to me. I just know that it'll probably take me like, I don't know, 6 or 8 months of learning algs every day at least and reviewing them a lot, and then another like 3 to 6 months of actually implementing it before I can even hope to be at the point where it's implemented. Okay, I'm gonna grab a drink. All right, we got the fuel. Share a Coke with Santa. Did you guys know that Coke is actually the company that like invented Santa? Like Saint Nicholas was always a thing. Like the legend of Saint Nick was a thing. And Dutch and German immigrants, their words for Saint Nicholas were like Sinterklaas and Saint Niklaas. And so those blend together, and like Americans thought Saint Nicholas was actually Santa Claus. But Coca-Cola, in like, I forget when it was, they ran their Christmas advertising. And they were like, we want Santa in all our Christmas ads so that Coke, which is normally a cold summer drink, gets associated with Christmas. And Santa needs to be red because Coca-Cola is red. And so like Coke, through their Christmas advertising, basically invented what we now know as Santa Claus. Heard that on a podcast this week. Thought it was kind of cool. Yes. Okay. So cardio to make your brain faster. That's a totally real thing. I actually realized that this week. Like my cardio fitness has gotten so bad. I've mostly been powerlifting during my workouts lately, but I'm back into running and on the Stairmaster every workout session because I heard Magnus Carlsen talked about this. His peak time of chess was not when he was the most skilled, but when he was the most physically fit, because then his mind could just grind down opponents at the board for a long time. Pictures of his exes. I will not be doing that. Married man. That's crazy. Like rage fueling your Rubik's Cube. That's a different level. Rage fueled cubing. That's wild. That was very bad last two edges. Hey, Nick. Yeah, you're totally right. They didn't invent him. I just like using that phrase because it sounds more clickbaity. But if you want to be technical, yes. Their artistic rendition of Santa Claus is what popularized what we currently view Santa as. But the mythology of St. Nicholas has been around for a long time. and different cultures naming him different things and calling him slightly different things. That's also a very American way of thinking, the way I just explained it. Like, we invented it. No, we didn't. Europe did it first, and better. Hope you have a good 6x6 session, though. Yikes. That was unreal. So bad. What's your main? All my mains are on my link tree. I use the Waylong V11, 20 magnet ball core. I don't practice Mega. I only practice 3 through 7. Dude, I love big cubes. Big cubes are the best events. Especially now that hardware is actually good. I wanted to like big cubes when I was younger, but I felt like the cubes were just too slow. But now that cubes are super, super good, 7x7, 6x6 are so, so fun. And maybe it's just me, but I find it much less draining than 3x3. Lefty fat soon for big cubes. What's this? What's that alg supposed to do? I just prefer the righty one. Righty back soon seems better there to me. What's the advantage of doing that lefty? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, bailed out by a lucky last 2 edges case. Or last 4 edges. That should have been like 115 or worse, but hey. Oh, you think the lefty one's more consistent? I think using right hand dominated is more consistent. I've tried working lefty algs in, like for J perms. You can do lefty J perm like this. I prefer to do it like that because it's righty dominant. I kind of went over this for a while. Luke and I talked about it, just decided to do it that way. You think the Aoshi is a pain? I think the Aoshi is like pretty dang good, all things considered. Dude, oh yeah, Nick, I totally agree. The fact that big cubes are forgiving makes it so much more fun to me. And another thing that I really like about big cubes is that in competition, adrenaline helps. So with like 3x3 or sprint events, adrenaline makes you so much worse because you're shaky, your really precise finger tricks and muscle memory are hard. But with big cubes, if you have lots of adrenaline and you go into a solve, you can set a PB by like 15 seconds or something ridiculous, even if you're pretty good, because you have adrenaline and you're like totally focused. I started cubing when I was 10, so that's like 12 years ago now. I've been around a while. Oh, good grief. Finger trick at like R prime, F prime, R, U prime, R prime, F2, R. I don't think that's worth switching. But I can see that as a good alternative. Thanks for the alg check though. My algorithm knowledge is not great. So anytime somebody sees something I do and has suggestions for new ways to do it, please be my guest. Oh, okay. Yeah, the CubeSmith DIY kits, like if you know what CubeSmith is, you are officially old. Not old, just one of the OGs. But like, I remember one of my early competitions that I went to, like in 2018, There was this guy who showed up at like the evening of the competition, like after everything had already happened. And he was like, hey, so I haven't cubed for like 8 years, but I got these cubes like 15 years ago from this one website online, and I saw this competition was nearby, and I kind of just wanted to come see like what cubing is like now. And he had these like the cubes before CubeSmith, like the alpha DIY cubes, if you know what those are. It was so cool. We had like, this was like when the Haze 7 was new, and we were giving him like our GAN cubes and our magnetic big cubes. And we were like, try these are so cool. And he was like, this is amazing. How did I learn left-handed double U moves? The same way I learned any finger trick. I forced myself to do it correctly, very slowly, for a few minutes at a time, and then take a break, and then do it again. And you literally just keep doing that. You completely stop doing anything that is not the correct thing, implement the correct thing slowly and accurately for a long time using spaced repetition until you can do it. There is no shortcut to it, unfortunately. Mediocre. I am planning on learning ZB, but I'm gonna start in a few weeks. Might be more than a few weeks, but I'm for sure planning on doing it. Just right now, my inspection and F2L solutions are not quite, what's the word? Baked in, intuitive enough. Hey, that's awesome. Glad you're enjoying the long form stuff. I'm also starting to put my podcast episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So for the Cubers podcast, the Dylan Miller interview is already there. My Gianfranco Huanqui interview that's coming out soon, same thing. And going forward, all that will be on there as well. But glad it makes the long drives a little more bearable. Is ZB better than CFOP? Objectively better? Better is a weird word. If you mean theoretically optimal, yes, ZB is theoretically better than CFOP. For a human, I think that if two humans put the same amount of time into ZB and CFOP, CFOP wins until you get to the ultimate highest level, and then ZB wins if you put enough time in over a long enough time. Zhang Yi will almost certainly become #1 in the world within like a year or so, because Yiheng doesn't really have any more he can improve other than just turn faster, and he's limited by the laws of physics. But Zhang Yi can improve his ability to look ahead to his ZBLLs and executing them, and just because his move count is lower, it is theoretically more optimal. Do I think ZB is better for me? Definitely. Because the trade-off of ZB to CFOP is that you can't turn as quickly, and you have to rely on more thinking and memory. And as I get older, and because I'm not a raw TPS-based solver anyway, I would rather choose the method that is based on me using my mind to learn algorithms and tricks, and trades off efficiency a little bit for that. I also haven't learned it yet, so I can't give you a conclusive answer until I've actually done it. find Brandon. Dang. Almost. Tristan, hey, what do you average? When did you start practicing again? What method do you use? And what stuff do you know about that method? And how did you learn cubing back in the day? Like, I would need more information because there is no one leverage point that works for everybody, you know? Yeah, limited by the laws of physics is a pretty crazy flex, but cubing is gonna get to the point where that is the limiter. And people are going to have to look for like, well, if intuitive raw cubing is literally limited at physics and like ability to move muscles at a certain speed, what else can I do? Holy mid. Can you give me more information about what you know or don't know, what you're good at and not good at, William? I'm good at big cubes, thanks. I feel like I'm kind of mediocre, but appreciate that. What have I done to get here? I'm gonna make videos about this soon, but there's really two aspects to solving. There's the moves you do, which is your solution, and there's how you do it, which is your execution. With big cubes, and I'm not an expert. I'm starting coaching with Mark Zimmerman. He's one of the top 7x7, 6x6 solvers to make my solutions better. But with big cubes, the first thing you have to do is learn all the principles behind good solutions, which at first seems really daunting, but the amount of things you actually have to know in good big cube solutions is not that many. Like the things you have to do are not super complex. You just have to do a lot of them. Creating centers is pretty straightforward. Edge pairing is pretty straightforward, and there are a few fairly small optimizations. So learn all of those. Watch walkthrough solves, tutorial videos, tips videos, Kevin Hayes' Whole Tuesday Tips series. And I'm going to put out resources about all this stuff too, because I don't think there's any one good place that explains big cube principles well right now. And then you just practice a lot. When you practice, just have a specific step that you're like, I want to improve this step. But big cubes are really just know the fundamentals and then practice a lot. Do you know what PLL, OLL algorithms do you know, William? 2-look, 1-look, and all of that. Tummy is starting to rumble a little bit. It's about lunchtime for me. All right, I think I'll make this my last 5 solve and then more 3x3. My brain feels better now. Inspection just kills me. Turns me into mush. Whoa! That's pretty good. I think that's PB2. Yeah, I think I have 155. And that's definitely the best 56 I've ever gotten. Solid. Very solid. Do I have specific big cube drills? I don't really have specific drills yet. I have to like still develop that whole methodology. But I'll let you know. I mentioned this a little bit ago, but Mark Zimmerman and I are going to start doing coaching for my big cubes. And I'm really, really interested what he has to say because I haven't done much intentional practicing with big cubes to this point. My mindset has mostly been learn the fundamentals and then practice a lot. Okay. Log my 7x7. No, that was 5x5. And how many solves did I do? 10. Cool. Back to 3x3. 2 look, A perm, and Y perm. William, I would say make sure you know 2 look OLL, 2 look PLL, which it sounds like you do. Then, hey, Fat Rock, what's up? Yeah, he mentioned he was coaching you. I'm really excited to work with him. William, I would say first make sure that your cross is kind of good. I'll make videos about this soon, but find some, what's it called? Walkthrough solves or tip videos explaining the principles behind doing crosses efficiently, and focus on making your crosses not horrible. Like, they don't have to be optimal, but not trash. And then once your crosses are not trash, then you can move on to making sure that all your F2L solutions are good. F2L is going to be the rabbit hole that you spend most of your cubing on. Like, I'm still improving my F2L, and I'm almost sub 10. And Timon is still improving his F2L, and he's almost sub 6 globally. He might be sub 6 global, actually. I'm not sure. What cube do I use? This is a Waylong V11. All my mains are in my link tree. What'd I do? Inspection comes back to bite me again. How'd I get good at Pyrrha? I got good at Pyrrha the wrong way. I learned top first. So I learned Pyrrha back when John Gaynor was the best Pyraminx solver. And so I do intuitive top, one flip, Oka. Like I know all the top first methods, and I kind of just intuitively do a solution where I solve all the centers and get a top done, and then I do a last layer algorithm. My finger tricks are really bad. I can't do flick B moves, which means I have to regrip anytime I want to do a B move. I do a lot of rotations, but you can still get down to like low threes with that. So there you go. No, my failure was just I did my cross wrong. I was focusing so much on my F2L and tracking edges that I didn't double check my cross solution. Okay. What's your best event, Thomas? Like, you said you practice 10 things. What do you think that you're the best at? Because if you practice a lot of stuff, there's a very good chance that, like, your TPS is really strong and your recognition is really good. It's like your last layer is fast, you know? But you're just not good at the 3x3 specific stuff. Potential. Bad AUF. I probably wasted 0.5 just trying to get that AUF flick. Also, don't freak out too much about your splits, Thomas. Just gradually improve your solve quality over time. Oh, is my spreadsheet not updated? Whoops. Let me go update that. That's funny. I did use the RS3M for a long time. Very good cube still. If I wasn't trying to use a fast cube, that's probably what I would main. Although I haven't tried the Gen 16. I'm guessing it's very good. Cubing info. Yeah, that's wrong. And that's wrong. Alfu. There we go. Times are up to date though. I do know that. I just sent it that solve. Couldn't see anything past cross. How long did it take me to learn full OLL? I do not remember. A really long time. I was like 14 or 15 when I learned it, so I procrastinated a lot, didn't do it very well. What's up, JJ? Can't join your DC. What's DC? Butterfingers on that .oll. It flows better if I do that. Discord? I don't have a Discord server. I just have a my username down there, and you can send me a friend request. Yeah, if you want to get really good at any event, especially as you get faster and faster, you kind of have to dedicate time to it. So even Max Park, like when he starts breaking world records, and I know this because I've talked to him and his family about it, what he does is he just picks an event, and that's like the thing that he does. And he shows up to a competition, and he hasn't really touched all the other events, but he's really practiced one. So like back when Timon was beating him at 5x5 really consistently, and he still is, but like when like the first time he started doing it, he practiced 5x5 like nonstop. I went to a competition that had like 3 and 7 and 4 and did okay at those, but he crushed the 5x5 world record because he just focused on 5x5. So you kind of, if you're going to do lots of events, you have to pick one at a time to focus on, and then keep the other ones kind of in maintenance mode. Like do them enough so that you don't regress in skill, and focus on one. And then do that one less so that you don't lose skill, and focus on another one. That's much more effective, both from a motivation standpoint and how much you learn, than trying to like gradually improve at everything. Look ahead exists. Use it, Brandon. Oh. Lovely. Lovely solve. How do I put up like a... Is there a text option in OBS? Yeah, there is. Text. Back soon. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break, take a quick walk, and then we'll be back in business. Feeling good about this. All right. How do I get rid of that? There we go. We are back. Alrighty. See ya, Cube Guitar. All right, what did I miss? I averaged 10 to 11 and can't predict one pair. I'll let you know when I figure it out. The theory is you learn how to predict your crosses super easily. Like, it has to be incredibly intuitive. And then from there, you just kind of have to learn how your moves affect pieces on the cube. So that sounds obvious, but you have to get really good at, if I'm going to do a 4-move trigger, knowing what happens to the pieces as you do it. But I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know how to explain it very well yet because I can't do it. I can like half do it. So I'll make a more detailed video once I actually learn how to do it for sure. Don't really have an opinion on smart cubes. Never owned one. They're kind of fun, but I don't think they're really, I don't know. Opinion about what? Oh, rats, I messed up. What'd I do wrong there? How useful they are? If by the future you mean what everybody's going to be using in competition, I think that will never happen. Getting competitors to adopt something that is a detriment to their performance, unless it's a mandate from the competitive body, is definitely not going to happen. I think that there will be some sort of machine vision thing that can look at the video and track pieces just based on the video. But almost certainly we're not going to be having smart cubes go. Are they useful? They're super useful if you want to have something that will automatically reconstruct all your solves. I'm competing actively. I'm going to a competition in 2 weeks, Tristan. My saying for myself, it's what I have on my mouse pad, is run patiently. I have big long-term goals I want to meet, but those are long. So each, every day, every week, every month, I'm going to work super hard. I'm going to train super hard, as fast as I can, as well as I can. I spend 3.5 to 5 hours training a day. But for now, I'm not going to put pressure on myself to get results. I'm just going to put the work in every single day. And I'm going to go to competitions because I love competing and I want to track my improvement, but progress takes a long time. I don't like that cross. I don't like that one either. I don't like any of them. Cross is stupid. That's my takeaway. I'm just gonna send it. Yeah, I go to comps in California. I plan to compete somewhere, like, you know, more places sometime. But for right now, it's just like, Fat Truck, you're good. I don't care. Just talk about your stuff. Answer the questions. Yeah, I compete in Southern California mostly. I plan to learn ZBLS for sure. Just, that's a ways away still. Good grief. So silly. Cleaning your RS2M Evo? I mean, that is one way to use an hour and a half. Yeah, I reset my CS timer for 3x3 and 4x4 every single day. It helps me keep a clean mindset. Otherwise, I get really discouraged that I'm not solving as fast as I did yesterday or the day before or something like that. I would much rather just solve cleanly every day and let the times come than focus really, really, really hard on I have to be faster, I have to be faster, I have to be faster every day. I started cubing 12 years ago when I was 10 years old, and I didn't improve quickly at all. Back then, there weren't a whole lot of tutorials on YouTube about how to improve and such, so just kind of a little bit here and there over time. This is interesting. Failed inspection again. Yes, I am going to that competition. That competition is 10 minutes from my house. I would not miss it. Yeah, I reset. Like I hit the X button and I hit cancel. I hit OK and I literally wipe it. I track all my times in a spreadsheet that's in my link tree. But like there really isn't a reason to track all of it. It just kind of gives you a mental barrier each day. Like, oh, I'm not as good as my global. This sucks. I need to cut corners to solve faster. Cool. See you there, Conrad. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I haven't competed in a long time. So many problems. Weilong V11. 20 magnet. This is a streak of really poor solves. All right. Let's go again. Hey, what's up, Gianfranco? How much time will I train now? Well, today I don't know how long I've been going for. A few hours. I'm training for like 4 hours a day right now, split into 2 different sessions normally, maybe 3. I was white only for the longest time, and then am I dual only? I spent like 8 weeks learning to solve both white and yellow, and that was painful, but now I'm perfectly neutral. I'm never doing more, and I'm kind of skeptical that being dual is actually good. I'm trying really hard to plan cross +1, but it's a struggle. For now, anyway. I'll get there. Only goal for my next competition is to get sub 10 average. That's really it on 3x3. I would really like sub 35 on 4x4, and I would really like sub 2 mean on 6x6. But we'll see. Okay. Average has potential. Still has potential. Mental advice for making you learn full OLL. Which would you rather? The pain of learning the algorithms or the pain of not being fast? And then based on which one your answer is, do that. Like, it's hard, very hard, but just like, yes, learning OLL is hard. Would you rather be slow, or would you rather the pain of learning the algs? Come on. There we go. Yay! Sub 10 average. Have I tried 3 blind? Yeah, I've got like 10 or 15 successes at home, and I just don't really enjoy practicing it, and it doesn't carry over to the other events. So maybe someday I'll work on it, but for right now, I'm just going to pick a few things and do those really, really well. I think I'm starting to lock in a little bit. You're struggling to get sub 20. Well, seeing as how you're not as fast as Yihang, you're missing a ton of things, right? There's skills you're missing. There's turn speed you're missing. There's practice time you're missing. You can pretty much pick anything, and if you just do it, get better. But almost certainly, if you're not sub 20, if you just make a plan for how many solves a day you're going to do and do it for 3 months every day, you'll get faster. Oh. I had a plan and it fell apart. Tips for pyraminx? Get a good cube, learn L4E, practice a ton. I really don't know very much about Pyrrha. starting to see things. I'm starting to see the things. Finger tricks all falling apart. Dude, if I had a nickel for every time somebody told me you might want to turn faster on XYZ, I would be rich. Like everybody says, turn faster, Brandon. The thing is, I will turn faster eventually. If I just focus on doing the right stuff for right now, eventually I will get faster. But yes, turning faster is always a good idea. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Good. Yes. Wow. That is by far my fastest average I've ever gotten on camera. Oh, I plan to learn full ZB. Don't worry. How often do I predict cross +1? Depends on how in the zone I am. I'm predicting it most of my solves right now, but in about 25 minutes, it will not be very often. Nothing. Anywhere. What's the plan here? Send it and pray. That's the plan. Rats. Would have been sub 10 if I hadn't messed up the F perm too. Valid timer stop for sure. Yeah, TPS is not that important. TPS is just something that looks flashy. And a lot of like beginner intermediate solvers can control their TPS. They feel like, oh, I'm fast at turning, therefore I'm better than you. No, you're not. You're actually like pretty decidedly worse than me. You just have faster times for right now. But at some point, with the solutions I have, if I just speed it up, I could be like sub 8. Whereas with what you're doing, you couldn't be. Well, as I say it, that was trash. Okay. Every edge is misoriented from the angle I want to do this. If I do it this way, though. Oh, it's like magic. Oh, no! Darn. Well, the good streak is over. Gonna go to 6x6 for a little while. I don't really do slow turning. I don't like it very much. I would rather do drills where I like, for CFOP, do cross. And then I try to like predict my first two F12 pairs. Like I see this and this. So like I'll do blue, orange, and blue, red here. Like close my eyes. Wait. And do that. And then predict my last two here. The reason I prefer doing that is because with slow turning, you really only evaluate like one thing at a time. Like you're still looking ahead and finding the next one thing you're going to solve. Whereas with that drill where you actually pause and you evaluate a lot of stuff, you get the chance to evaluate like 5, 6, 7 different solutions and decide which one's the best. And in doing that, for me right now, I'm developing an intuition of like, oh, in this scenario, you should be looking for a pair that looks like this, or that pair probably isn't the best one that you can do. Whereas if I'm doing slow turning, I just default to whatever is the easiest to see next. And I solve the next easiest thing in the optimal way, but I'm not mastering the decision making over which thing I should be doing. Slow turning is still helpful, but I prefer that drill over slow turning. I find that it accomplishes the same goals, but more effectively. All right. 6x6. Oof. I know slow turning is great on big cubes. I didn't say I don't like it on big cubes. It's great for big cubes. Just not for 3x3, for me right now. All right, let's do it. Sub 2 mean today. Maybe. I'm gonna put on some different music now. For myself. You guys are stuck with the same lo-fi. Disneyland holiday music. I'm an addict for listening to theme park music. I have like 50 hours of amusement park soundtracks from around the world that I use as like my background music for life. Is this the Aoshi? Yeah, Aoshi Worm, not the V4. I don't have the V4. I would love a V4, but I don't want to switch before my next competition. So yeah, just holding off on buying it for now. Oh no. I actually have 5 edges unsolved. That's a bummer. I was like, this doesn't feel right. Well, lucky case. That was very bad. Hey, he's a cuber. What's up? What time is it for you right now? I'd imagine pretty late. Um, so trash. 9:35 p.m. That's crazy. What country are you from? Three by three. I'm a pretty big stickler actually for 56 millimeter. I feel like any smaller than that is kind of tough. I don't like smaller 3x3s. N by N's, I don't. Other than that, I don't care. Whatever cube turns the best. Is the cuber still here? Maybe. Maybe not. Nigeria. Oh, very nice. I've never been to Nigeria, but have been to Togo a couple of times. Really liked it. Is there much of a cubing scene in Nigeria? Or is it like you have to kind of go to specific places in order to be able to compete? Wait, Nigeria's... No. Nigeria is not near Togo. I'm stupid. I was thinking of Ghana. My bad. Hey, JC Cuber. Thank you. Oh, no, it is near Togo. I wasn't crazy. It's just one country over. Good stuff, dude. Love to see cubing representation from all over the world. This solve is so messy. I'm probably gonna get triple parity to top it all off too. There's one. Oh, two. Wait for it. And only two. Eee. Eh. Gotcha. Just not very many comps. I mean, that makes sense. Are there delegates in Nigeria, or do the delegates have to travel like in order to host in Nigeria? Yeah, at least not a DNF. Managed to catch it first. I feel like I should be going way faster than this. Those solves were really bad. Ooh. Yesterday was squat day for my training, so my hips are giving me kind of issues right now. Been sitting for a really long time. Okay. Ooh. Can do a fun little block building start. Hey, there we go. It's so funny. There's something about being under 2 minutes, or under 10, or under some time barrier. It just feels better. Not a lot of comps. Haven't had any this year. One delegate. Yeah, that's cool. If you can become a delegate, that'd be pretty great. Looking handsome? Dude, I feel trash today, but I appreciate it. All right. Oh, here we go. Start of the sub 2 mean. Oh, wow. What do we have here? Oh. I'm a failure. Well, one more solve, and then that's going to be it, I think. Wife said she's a few minutes away, so timing will work out well. Well, not a bad one to end on. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you coming to the stream. And stay tuned. I've got lots more exciting videos coming up. I'm really excited. Next few weeks, I'm going to be doing 3 times a week uploads. I've got really cool podcasts. I got Gianfranco Huanqui. I got Chris Mills. I got Stu Cube. All coming up on the podcast. Got some tutorial videos and stuff. So pretty cool stuff. Thanks for coming. And yeah, stay after it. Talk to you soon.